Rome, the great empire, was built on power, ambition, and wars. For centuries it was led by many splendid emperors, generals, and senators. But behind the curtains, besides battles and political agendas, a silent force in action. The great women in ancient Rome were not merely silent spectators, they played a great role in shaping dynasties. They also influenced policy and played a role in securing legacies. Roman women flashed power in the shadows. Their influence wasn't scripted in history or etched in triumphal arches, yet it was sensed in the rise and fall of Rome itself. Let's step into the imperial palaces where the real game of power is played. Roman women are not a single story. They live different lives, each with a unique and distinct power. Some are rich and some are poor. What they do is survive in the patriarchy of Rome. Their lives are set with the rules of men, but they all have power, and they use it. Let's start with Livia Drusilla. She starts as a noblewoman and marries Octavian, who becomes the Emperor Augustus. She uses her charm and intelligence to advise Augustus. She became his most trusted counselor at that time. Power in Rome is never official to women, but Livia Drusilla bends the rules. She also uses her wealth and family connections to impact who rules after Augustus. Livia is a powerful woman in politics and culture and played a vital role in shaping the Julio-Claudian rule. Her actions show that women have a lot of power and potential, and they also can do anything they want. She also shows that women can face any challenge in the pursuit of greatness and dignity. The story of ancient women of Rome is not limited to wealthy and leading women. It is also the story about everyday women who ran households, raised children, or even managed their small businesses to keep the economy in maintenance. The everyday lives of a woman and their stories are harder to find because it is buried below the grand narratives of emperors and their battles. But it is important to know what are the struggles of common women of ancient Rome. The lives of women of Rome heavily depend upon their social class. For instance, Livia Drusilla, a wealthy woman, has access to higher education, luxury goods, and political influence. They often manage large property, oversee household labor, and play a vital role in their husbands' careers. On the other hand, poor women face daily struggles for their survival. They work as shopkeepers, artisans, laundresses, and prostitutes. They often work long hours to feed their family and fulfill their basic needs. Also, they have little access to education as their low income cannot allow them, and their illiteracy stops them from political influence. Their day-to-day lives may have been similar, but the resources of different classes are highly different. Regardless of their social class, all Roman women are subject to the authority of men. They are legally under the control of their fathers and husbands, and they have limited rights in terms of property ownership, legal representation, and political participation. The women of ancient Rome, particularly the common ones, didn't vote or serve in public office or the military. They couldn't even speak for their rights and themselves in court. The question is, how did they find their power? Despite all these restrictions, it doesn't mean that women are powerless. Within the limitations of their social roles, they find ways to utilize influence to shape their own destinies. They used their skills, intelligence, and social connections to guide the complicated powers of innovation in Roman society. Imperial women are very strong, hardworking, and creative with their work. Women from the elite class are involved in overseeing agriculture production, slaves, and finances, and play a vital role in contributing fairly in all those sectors. On the other hand, poor women start providing different services like shopkeepers, laundry services, crafting handmade materials and crockeries, and selling them in markets. Overall, women in all classes become independent and support their families. One of the most important ways that women use their influence is through their roles as mothers. Roman mothers are responsible for raising their children, inducing in them the values and morality that are necessary to success in imperial society. They teach their sons about honor, duty, and patriotism. They teach their daughters modesty, chastity, and domestic skills. Mothers are the first and most important teachers of Roman children's lives, and their influence structured the next generations of historical citizens. And no doubt, all these mothers complete their motherhood and provide the citizens with brave people who lead the city with intelligence. Moreover, they exert their influence through religious activities. The women of Rome widely participate in a variety of religious festivals and cults, which are often dedicated to female deities such as Ceres, Diana, and Vesta. They serve as priestesses, performing rituals and ceremonies that are essential for maintaining the favor of the gods. Women use religion to connect and unite the people and make Rome a stronger community. These connections also give women the power to guide moral practices in society. Religion provides a voice to women that wasn't always present in politics. Some women even find ways to challenge the traditional social order. They use their wealth, education, and social connections to advocate for change. They support artists and writers who challenge conventional standards. They prefer to do business with welfare organizations that help the poor and disempower people. They even participated in political protests, demanding greater rights and opportunities for women in all sectors. But their risky steps paid off their efforts as they had the opportunity to speak for their rights at least. Take a look at Cornelia, the mother of the Gracchi brothers, who are famous reformers. After her husband dies, she devotes her life to educating her sons and putting efforts into promoting their political careers. She is known for her intelligence, her power of speech, and her unlimited support to her sons, making her the ideal mother and woman as well. Cornelia became a role model for Roman women, highlighting that women can play an important role in public life even if they are excluded from formal political power. She also famously stated, while showing off her sons, that they are her jewels. Move to Fulvia, the wife of Mark Antony. She is a woman of great ambition and political intelligence. After her husband's death, she takes control of his political division and leads a revolution against Octavian. She raises armies, coins money, and even commands soldiers in battle. So Fulvia highlights that women are capable of playing an important role in Roman politics, even in the middle of the civil war. Overall, she becomes a perfect example of female strength despite her flaws. Then there is Messalina, the wife of Emperor Claudius. She is known for her beauty, intelligence, and her scandalous behavior. She engages in multiple affairs, goes against her husband, and even participates in public hustling. Her actions shock Roman society, and she becomes the symbol of immorality and corruption. Her story serves as a cautionary tale and reminds the citizens of the dangers of unchecked female ambition. The women written in the history books are those who belong to the elite class or outliers. These women only show a portion of the millions who are Roman citizens. At the same time, the majority of Roman women work within the home. It is hard work for them, as only a few homes have modern appliances at that time. It is right to say that the average poor woman faces more difficulties and limitations than the rich one. But instead of these limitations, they find different ways to make their voice heard, such as they write letters, poems, and philosophical agreements. They commission works of art that reflect their values and beliefs. Also, they participate in public debates, expressing their opinions on a variety of issues. They use their words and actions to shape the cultural and intellectual lands of their times. Even without a vote, Roman women leave an immortal mark on the world. As the Romans continue to develop, the role of women is increasingly affected by society. With the rise of Christianity, women get new opportunities for religious leadership and spiritual appearance. They become nuns, deaconesses, and saints, playing an important role in the spread of Christianity throughout the Roman world. Christian women are still restricted, but in a different way from the pagan women before them. Roman women became a force in the Roman Empire. They adjusted and found work. However, Christianity also brings new limitations on female sexuality and behavior. Christian writers highlight the importance of morality, fairness, and obedience. They condemn female vanity, ambition, and independence. Christian women are encouraged to focus on prayer, charity, and household duties. The story of women in ancient Rome is a story of mystery and difficulties. It's a story of power and powerlessness, of freedom and limitation. It's a story that challenges our assumptions about gender, power, and the nature of history itself. It's a reminder that history is not just about great men and grand events, but also about the lives of common people, both male and female, who shape the world in many ways. There are some powerful women in the imperial empire whose stories and achievements are passed down through future generations. While some women are still mysterious, all these stories built Rome. We have explored the great figures who shaped Rome's destiny, the emperors, the senators, the generals, and the women. But we have also tried to give a voice to the common people whose lives were touched by the Roman experience. Thus, women's different roles provide a deeper understanding of history, highlighting their often overlooked contribution. The dream of Rome's fall is an interesting one. So what were the reasons behind the fall of the powerful Roman Empire? Did the empire's structure and laws sow the seeds of its fall? What choices did Rome make to seal its fate? Were external forces like barbarian invasions or internal conflicts bringing it to its knees?